Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne, and today I'll teach you how to install Windows 8.1 Pro onto this new system that I've built. There's a video out that you can check out, and I would highly recommend it because it's just fun. Alrighty, so what is entailed in this video? I'm going to show you how to put the Windows install onto a USB stick, how to boot it up, what happens after, how to format drives, and how to install drivers. So, yep, everything you need to know after you've built your system. I bought Windows 8.1 Pro online and I was given a link to download Windows. And first you click install Windows 8.1 from the link, and then you run the app and then plug in the key. Then it'll go through the download process, and then you click install by creating media and choose the ISO file so you can have the option to burn to a DVD or make a new flash drive if you need to. Also click save onto your current PC, and once the ISO file is created, click finish and you're done with this part. The next step is to open up the Rufus program. Rufus is a utility that helps format and create bootable USB flash drives. And go to this link to download. Click Rufus 2.1 788 kilobyte version to download. And after the download, plug in your USB flash drive. It automatically detected the drive in my case. Next to the FreeDOS, click the CD icon to select the ISO image, then click Start. But since I don't want to destroy all of my files on the 64 gig drive, I've decided to swap it for smaller 32 gig flash drive. You should have nothing on there except for the OS when booting. It will take around 12 minutes to finish transferring the ISO image to the boot drive, and hit close once it's finished. Also, make a copy of the ISO onto an external hard drive just in case. Be sure to have your system off before installing the flash drive with the OS, and that way, when you get into BIOS, it can recognize that it's there. So right now, I only see USB 3.0 ports up at the front of the case, so we're going to go ahead and go to the rear Mobo I/O. And then I'm going to go ahead and plug in this 32 gig flash drive with the OS into one of the USB 2.0 ports up here at the top. And you must be wondering, why am I doing that? Why not use USB 3? It's because if you're trying to use the USB 3 port, you might get a message telling you that a driver is missing. So this just kind of eliminates that issue if it ever arises. Be sure to have a mouse and keyboard plugged in before you get into the BIOS. I think that will be quite helpful. So let's go ahead and power this baby on one more time. You'll want to hit delete to get into the motherboard BIOS, so we're going to go ahead and do that. This is where you can go ahead and set up your boot menu and all that. So that's where we're headed. But if you do have a fresh drive or fresh drives in your system, then you won't need to go into the boot priority menu. You could just go straight into the Windows install. And to set the boot priority, go to settings and then go to boot. And you want to do boot option 1 and go ahead and pick the Kingston Traveler, and then you want to hit escape to go out and then save. Then go ahead and click save changes and reboot. Yay, success! It is booting to the USB or from the USB drive. Let's go ahead and go through the process. So language, English, time, English, United States, and keyboard, yes, okay, next. And then just click install now. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter the product key, and obviously I can't show you that, so give me a moment. After I inserted the product key, I hit next, and then I'm just going to drag this down to the bottom. Does anyone actually read the stuff? And then click I accept license and hit next. And since this is a clean install on new system, I'm going to go ahead and hit custom. Now it's going to ask you where you want to install Windows. We're going to go ahead and put it on drive 1 unallocated space. This is the 240 gig SSD. It's just better for boot time as well as performance overall. Bear in mind that these are raw drives, so there's no file system like NTFS or FAT32. So we're going to go ahead and hit new to create one. And make sure this is at max, and then we're going to hit apply. And then we're going to hit OK. And just play the waiting game like, oh, there it is, okay. Windows is going to create a bunch of partitions, but just worry about the one that says primary because that's where we're going to install Windows. So let's go ahead and hit next. Yay, it's installing! Very slowly. And the waiting game continues. And once all of this is done, this might take a while, it says, it'll restart the system. Okay, it's rebooted and let's continue on. So once we get into Windows, the OS that is, we will go ahead and install the latest drivers onto this new system. So you'll just need drivers for the motherboard as well as the graphics card. I just went to the motherboard website for the MOBO drivers, and as for the graphics card, you can go straight to the NVIDIA or AMD or go to your motherboard. As you can see, it's still booting from the USB key first, so we're gonna have to go back into BIOS and change the boot priority to the SSD. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, be sure to press delete right away so that you can go straight into the BIOS. Now then, once again, we're going to settings, and then we're going to boot, and then we're going to boot option 1 and choose the SSD. All right, let's go ahead and pick this, and then we are going to go back, so escape, and then save and exit, and we're going to save changes and reboot, and this should work. Yay, it's a success, it has worked. So now you know how to do it too, and it's definitely getting easier and easier as time progresses. So let's go ahead and get a color. I think this is JTL, or do you think this is JTL, or is this JTL? Oh my gosh, I don't know, I'm gonna go with purple, okay. And the PC name, I'm going to name it, of course, JTL, and then I'm gonna hit next. And just to make it easy, I'm gonna use the express settings. And I'm gonna have to cut you guys out so I can pick a username, password, and all the like. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and click finish. Oh my god, it said hi! Hello! I'm just kidding. We're setting things up for you. They are so friendly, aren't they? I just love it. Ooh, I can get new apps from the store. Nope, 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 only free stuff. All right, let's get started. Woohoo! Yay! Applause! Go ahead and press Windows and X to get to the power menu, and then we're gonna go into System just to check it out. So, yay, we've got Windows 8.1 Pro running, and then what else? As you can see, processor, once again, 5930K, 16 gigs of RAM, 64-bit, yes, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome, yes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open up the power menu again. So disk management, and this is where we are going to format that 3.5-inch drive. We're gonna go ahead and pick GPT because that's a newer standard, and MBR is older and also for less than 2 terabytes of space. So we're gonna go ahead and click OK. Right now, as you can see, it's unallocated, so we're gonna right click that and then create a new simple volume. And let's go ahead and hit next. If you don't want to split this into multiple partitions, go ahead and increase the size to max, which it already is, which is awesome, and then click next. And then we're gonna go ahead and assign a drive letter. I kind of want to call it J, but it's okay, we're just going to keep it as F, and then hit next. We're going to go ahead and format this volume to NTFS, which is the native Windows file system. And there's also the exFAT option, which has Mac compatibility, so if you're using external drives going between Windows and Mac frequently, it might be quite useful for you. So we're going to keep it NTFS, and then we are going to just keep the allocation unit size on default and label this. Let's just call this JTL Archive. Oops, Archiver, that works too. And then we're gonna perform a quick format and then hit next. And then go ahead and click finish. And I believe that covers it, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit Windows E. And as you can tell, JTL Archive is there, and so is the local disk C. Yay, that was easy. Now I'm gonna go back into the disk management and change the JTL Archive to D. So let's go back in here and then just right click. Go ahead and click change drive letter and paths, and then click change, and we're gonna assign it to D, and then click OK, and then go ahead and click yes. Ta-da! That was simple. Now then, if you look in here, it's D. Yay! I've downloaded the latest motherboard and graphics drivers onto this USB stick. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in to this system, and then we are going to install the drivers. Let's go ahead and go into JTL Thumb, and then we are going to go to the motherboard drivers first, and then go into the drivers, and you'll want to install the chipset drivers first. Here we go, system and chipset, and then setup, and then just hit run. Now after this has been installed, please go ahead and restart the system, and then go ahead and install the LAN chip, and then everything else after. All right, let's go ahead and hit install. Yes, I do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and press finish to complete this. And then, like I said, let's go ahead and restart Le System. Yay, awesome! We have booted in correctly. Now we're going to type in the password. And then here we are. All right then, let's go ahead and download the LAN and the rest of the drivers. Now that all the motherboard drivers have been installed, let's go ahead and install the graphics drivers. This is exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead and just open this. Alrighty, let's hit yes, and then click OK, and there we have it. Looks like the installer has finished, so I'm gonna go ahead and click close. Whoopee! All right, yeah. Now all you have to do is get antivirus, and I'm gonna go with Bitdefender, but it doesn't hurt to have Malwarebytes as well as CC Cleaner on the side. And after that, go ahead and look for, Windows Updates. Check for updates. And it's going to take a little bit of time to update everything, but right now we're not connected to the internet, might need a wireless card, so this is just the next step for you guys. As you can see, Windows 8.1 Pro has been installed, so that's very exciting, and I hope you found this video helpful. And if you're a first-time builder, Windows installer, this should be just up your alley. Alrighty, if you like what you saw and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media. Joanne Tech Lover Facebook fan page, Joanne Tech Lover again on Twitter, and Joanne Tech Lover once more on Instagram. Also, please don't forget to hit the donate button so I can help expand this channel as well as feed this techie. I started up a channel called JTL Lifestyle where I talk about everyday random gadgets. It might be appealing to you, so be sure to check that out and subscribe. And be sure to check out JTL Cuteness Overload for an injection of cute into your day via fluffy puppies. And one last thing, StoreEnvy.com, where you can go ahead and check out my 8.5 by 11-inch autograph prints that you can buy. I guess all that's left to say is bye-bye.